Hi English 2 students, this is Mrs. Krim and I'm here today to walk you through the assignments related to Fahrenheit 451, pages 1 through 28. Some of you may have gotten a start on this work with the offline files that we sent home with you. If that's the case, please continue watching, listen to the instructions, and see if there's any adjustments you want to make to the work that you started so far. You are not required to put those assignments in these new formats. You can turn in the Google Doc I originally provided to you. Once we get to a point where there is new work, I would like you to switch over and use the documents provided to you in Google Classroom. If you are unfamiliar with Google Classroom and don't know how to find your assignments, please see my video introducing you to Google Classroom and how to navigate each week's work. If you were working out of the offline folder, you may have noticed that there was a document that was a pre-reading activity. Instead of that document, we did an activity on our last day of class, which was Monday, March 16th, and that was to help prepare you for the reading. That's where we did the gallery walk and looked at some different themes and quotes that applied to the novel. So the next step is to read the 28 pages. In a Google Classroom, the left-hand side of your assignments box has the documents that you need. You'll see on here that there is a PDF of the text. There is a link to listen to the audio. You can either stream that or download it. And then I even added in timestamps to help you know where to begin and end listening to the recording. The comprehension questions are in the form of a Google form, and the reason they are that way is so I can get those answers from you early in the week. When I start to get some answers from students, I can do a follow-up video and make sure to correct any misunderstandings or address some areas where there seems to be some confusion. I highly recommend that you answer the comprehension questions as you read. They go in chronological order, and if you read the questions before the text, it'll help you know what to be looking for as you read. Once you've answered the comprehension questions, your next activity is going to be to respond to a writing prompt. The standard we'll be focused on for these writing prompts is being able to write in different modes. So what you're going to do is choose one of the prompts to answer. You should start with a topic sentence, use some evidence from the text to support your point of view, and then provide a strong conclusion that summarizes your opinion. You can use the ACE method to help you. Indicate which prompt you've chosen where it says prompt choice in the box next to it here, and then write your response in the box below. Option number 1 is argumentative. Over the decades, many books have been challenged and some have been banned from public school libraries. Imagine you have written a book with explicit language, revolutionary ideas, or other controversial content. Write a letter to the school board explaining why your book should not be pulled from the shelves. Option number 2 is expository or informational. In this prompt, you would compare and contrast Clarice and Mildred with respect to how they each chose to spend their time and then how they relate to Montag. So again, you only need to pick one of the prompts, let us know which one you're writing, and then respond in the box below. The next activity is called close reading, and so for each of these, we are focusing on measuring your use of text evidence to support how you analyze the novel. The directions tell you to closely reread pages 26 to 28, which is Montag and Clarice's third conversation. Then you'll answer the questions below, include details from the text, including quotes and paraphrases when appropriate. So you'll have 3 to 4 questions that ask you to look at a very specific portion of the novel. So read closely. Each of these activities focuses on a really significant and important part of the text to help you understand the society in Fahrenheit 451. You don't necessarily have to use long quotes, and you don't need to use a quote with every single question, but choose quotes where appropriate as we're measuring your use of text evidence. Again, focus on explaining how the quotes or information from the novel that you've used helps support your answer to the question. And that explanation portion should always be longer than the quote you use. The last activity that you'll complete for this section of the text is all about making connections between the novel and our world today. So we're going to be measuring you on the standard about author's purpose. Ray Bradbury wrote this novel to criticize society and make some predictions about where he thought the future was headed. And so you'll be looking at some of those ideas in the novel and then applying them to the world today. For this week, the directions are: the power of the United States government has been a significant concern of many people since the founding of the nation in 1776. It is an ongoing challenge for the government to provide programs and resources for its citizens in 50 states, while also protecting individual freedoms and rights. Discuss this idea with family members or friends. Ask them about their experiences of government support and times when they experience too much government control. Using family stories, news stories, and your own ideas, answer the questions below. You do not need to use evidence from the novel. Instead, you're going to be focusing on what's happening in the world today. You're expressing some of your opinions and things you've noticed about the world. These assignments are especially important because your research project is going to change a little bit, and it's going to be focused on some of these ideas from the novel. If you don't have a family member or a friend available to talk to about these ideas, you can do some casual research online. Just remember, that's to help get you informed. You shouldn't be copying and pasting from any websites. That's a brief summary of the activities you're going to be working on this week. If you need any help, please feel free to use email or the Remind app, or take advantage of the live sessions with English teachers available throughout the days.